Hi everyone, Kirk here with Kirk's Motorrad Shop in Crystal Lake, Illinois, also with the BMW Motorrad Club of Northern Illinois. Today's video, well, you already know what it is. It's down in the description below. It's how to change out the water temperature sensor that goes inside of the block on a K1200. Doesn't matter if it's an LT, it could be the K75 or anything with the K on it, except for the newer ones, like not the 1600s or anything, but the K1200 series flying brick models. Why would you change out this sensor? Well, if you're having a problem where your fans are constantly running, especially if it's just barely coming off of cold and all of a sudden your fans kick on, this is your culprit right here. You can find these used. You don't have to pay the $135 that BMW charges. You can find them used on eBay. Usually they're pretty good, so and they're only like 20-30 bucks there, so that's a huge savings, and it will fix your problem. So I noticed on this bike here, when I pulled it into the shop, the fans were just running all the time, and it wasn't warmed up at all. The fans would just kick on almost immediately, so as soon as that needle would start to move, bam, fans would kick on. And that's gonna, make the battery suffer and the lights dim, everything else, because it's it's some work on the engine, it's the work on the electrical system. So anyway, got to change this out, and the way you do that is you got to remove these panels. Okay, so you don't have to remove this back panel here. Oh yeah, you do. You got to remove all these panels. Sorry, remove all the panels that are here. So you got 3 panels: the lower, the upper, and then the back panel to expose where these connections are right here. And this connector is going to be this bottom one on this is a 2000. Might be in a different position, but it's only going to be one plug. It's going to be just that plug that's got 2 little prongs on the inside of it there, and they go into this part here. And if you follow the cable up, it goes. It's a very difficult place to get at, but you can do it. It's right down in between the coil pack and the block, and you can see the end of this thing. It's in like that, back behind there. I'm going to have a real difficult time getting a camera in there to show you where that is, but in order to even in order to do this at all, we're going to have to drain out the antifreeze. So get yourself a nice clean container and drain out your antifreeze, or maybe it's time to change your antifreeze. It's only good for about 4 years in there, so 4 to 6 years depending on how much you ride it or what temperature extremes you ride in. So I've shown this part before in my video on how to change the antifreeze. Same procedure. You pull out, you find the antifreeze one, which is the one closest to the pump or closest to the front of the motorcycle. Pull off the little protective boot and pull the electrical connection off. Take your 14mm and take that out. Comes out really easy. It's only held in there with 9 Newton meters, so it's super easy to remove. And get your bowl up there and let her drain out. Alright, once it gets down reasonably low, you can put this thing right back in. You don't have to drain the whole thing out unless you're doing a flush. You just want to get rid of it below the level of that sensor. And I'll just hook it right back up again. It's right inside that little spot right in there. So I'm going to remove the wire first. I'm going to remove this wire. So you push this little clip in, pull the connector off, and then move this out of its holder. And now this is loose, that you'll be able to twist this and help get that wire out of there. I'm going to take a 19mm wrench and try to get up in there and grab onto that thing. Here it goes. You should be able to roll this thing around, roll the wire around, and you can see it. I don't know if you can see it twisting out of there, but I'm just twisting the wire and it's kind of twisting right out of there. Now I know I can remove it from the bottom because I've got it right down here. It's right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a fish line onto this end of it so I can pull it out this way and then pull the new one back through. Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to slide this right out of there. There it is. So don't pull it so far that you pull your fish line out. So make sure that you have a washer on here as well. There's a washer that's on the old one. They're not held in there with very much, but you want to make sure that that at least gets put back on there before you fish it into, you know, the spot that it goes in, because you don't want to have a leak there. A leak would be bad, but I'm going to leave it off for right this minute, and so help me, I am going to put it back on there. You guys know what happened the last time I did something like that. Just make sure the washer doesn't fall off on you. Now if you pull this out of the way, you will have a little bit more room. I think I might actually do that because I just can't get my hand up in there. Once you get it started, it goes in pretty easy. Just twist your wire up a little bit. Get your finger up in there, kind of, you know, roll it by hand, and then you'll be able to tighten it up. There we go. Just snug it up. I don't know what the torque value is, but I don't think I could get a torque wrench on there if I tried. So then we're going to put that back in the spot. Hook up our electrics. And then go ahead and refill the system. So that's how you change out the temperature sensor that goes in the block. Your fans won't be running all the time, and that's a good thing. If you like these videos and you want to see more of them, certainly subscribe to the channel, and do consider supporting me through Patreon and through the links below. You'll see all that stuff down there. If you want to help support me, it'd be great. On this particular motorcycle, there's definitely a lot more videos. This is what's called the Shark bike. It was a special bike that had all kinds of decals and stuff on it, and if you want to see all the different things that I did on that motorcycle, just do a search for the Shark bike and you'll see it, but that was all part of it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.